Hi, everybody, and welcome to Honey's Anime Spring 2020 post-season wrap-up. I'm Liz, and...
I'm Fonzy.
And today we're basically just going to talk about our, not a review, but an overview more of the spring anime season that just ended a couple weeks ago. We waited until everything was over so we could give a little bit of feedback on everything. So, how was your spring season?
It was okay. It did all right. It was, granted what we went through with a lot of cancellations and postponed anime, it was decent. I liked it. It was okay. There were some that did surprisingly well, and then some that actually looked potentially good, and then ended up being kind of bad.
Like which one, for example?
What was it? That president that...
President, It's Time for Battle?
President, It's Time for Battle. That one, no.
Like it seemed like it was going to be good, but not really?
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to be good, but then it ended up just not being good at all. And then I ended up hearing from someone else, I think like one of your writers earlier, like during the week or something, that apparently that guy that becomes like a vegetable almost and just starts learning things.
That's from Princess Connect.
Is that Princess? No, that's not Princess Connect.
That's Princess Connect.
I thought it was the one where he was just like completely like a child.
That's Princess Connect.
Are you sure that's Princess Connect?
I swear.
Chronicle Princess Connect or something like that?
No. That's Shironeko Chronicle.
Ah, see.
Shironeko Project. Yeah.
A lot of anime we were watching.
Yeah,
too.
We watched a lot. Okay, so when you watched
Project, that's the one.
Shironeko Project, but that one was actually the opposite. It's like it seemed like it was going to be
Princess Connect, that's good. The one. Okay, so
Princess Connect is the one where the main male character just kind of like shows up and he doesn't speak and he's just kind of like a baby the whole time.
Giant toddler, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you find out that he was still like that throughout the entire series, it was kind of like I don't know.
No, thank you.
I don't know what to say.
No, thank you.
It didn't really. No.
Yeah. That one I thought was gonna be good too, and then I couldn't with the cat girl. What's her name? Karen? Yeah, the cat girl from Princess Connect too. It's like I love cat girls, you more than most people, but this girl just kind of got on my nerves. No, she's just like too much of a cat girl. But then the main girl. Is the one that's annoying. Pecorine. Pecorine is just like so klutzy and so oblivious to life that it was just.
And then we only watched the first three episodes or something, and then after that was it.
We couldn't do it.
Don't even remember the names of the characters, honestly.
Sorry. So. Yeah, so not President It's Time for Battle, but this one. Although for me, I also thought that President It's Time for Battle looked like it might be kind of fun, and then it kind of ended up being too much about the game, like its own little game.
Yeah, that's very true. And I just didn't really get into it that much. And then of course there was a lot of isekai too this season as well. Another again, I should say. And a lot of it fell a little bit short too. Some of it was like not so good. It was just mediocre. Let's just put it that way. There was nothing great about it, but at the same time,
it wasn't terrible either.
Suck. Yeah, it wasn't terrible or that. But that's
you know what? That's
my
true.
Impression.
Yeah, that's something that I hadn't thought about too. Is how many isekai there were and how they all try to do their thing, and it's just another isekai. Yeah. Is basically what happened this season for the most part. I think so. I agree. I also noticed on the bright side, on the positive side, I noticed there were a lot of very strong female characters this season. So like Mew in Listeners, she's like stubborn and strong, and even the other girls in that same show in Listeners are very like strong, independent women.
Arte.
But I guess that's how rocker chicks are, so I guess it would make sense, right? And Arte is another perfect example, like she doesn't give up, she keeps going, she does her thing. It doesn't matter that she's wanting to do something nobody else wants her to do, and she does it. And then you have Katarina in My Next Life as a Villainess. She does so much. She can garden. Like, she's just like tough. She's like, all right, I'm ready. I'm prepared to live in exile if I need to. I'm prepared to do this. I'm prepared to do that. She's ready.
Like she's like a Jane of all trades.
Yeah, almost. She is. She's really cool. So that was pretty cool to me about the season. And also, I appreciated how beautiful anime is getting. I mean, in the
art's
sense
looking
that
really good.
More and more anime are just amazing art and style wise. Like Arte, for example, has really pretty art, and it has, of course, like the depictions of Italy and everything. And then Gleipnir is like, there's a lot of lots of fan service, but the art is amazing. Like the bodies, the shapes, the action, everything is drawn. The expressions is so good. And then Listeners has this awesome pastel look to it, and very unique styles. I noticed a lot of really unique styles. I wouldn't say that like Tower of God is beautiful, but it is unique, and it was something that stood out this season. I thought was the unique designs and looks of things, and still all the way through. But beautiful wise, I think Arte, Gleipnir, Listeners, and Sing Yesterday for me probably had the best art for me.
Ooh,
as far as I think.
No, I can agree with that too. Actually, the art was really good. I mean, the art was also really good in Sakura Wars.
Oh, that's true.
Didn't really continue that. That was also another one that was just kind of. I mean, I like it. It's nice. The game's great. I wasn't really feeling it so much. But the art is beautiful.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah,
Very
and the
beautiful.
CG wasn't painful to watch, so that's nice.
No,
Was
sure
nice.
wasn't.
Cool. All right. So basically, what else? Anything else that was important or stood out this season? We did talk about some major disappointments in the beginning of our past mid-season kind of check-in.
Yeah. Anime so far for the spring anime season of 2020.
Yeah, the previous one of these. So Tamayomi continued to be just no better than it was at the beginning.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't.
That just kind of stayed there. And we did lose a lot of anime because of delays again, even though we had already started them, and then we lost those. But going back to something you said at the beginning, Fonzy, I think something that helped showcase a lot of these series was the fact that big names weren't in the season that they were supposed to, right? And I feel like some shows, like Listeners, would have probably completely fallen through the cracks and nobody would have watched it.
Definitely. Yeah, there was really nothing to overshadow anything else during this season, at least, because of all the cancellation and postponing anime. But, I mean...
It was a pretty even playing field, it felt like.
Yeah. Keyword here is surprise. It was actually surprisingly good for the season, despite all that we couldn't experience and lost.
But that we're getting to in the summer, so
yes, this new summer season is going to be great. So far, so good.
Yes, so far, so good.
Wait for that video for summer 2020 so far.
All right, so let's go into our top fives. How about we talk a little bit? We're going to go over our top 5 for each one of us. We happen to overlap on a couple of them, so we'll both talk about those. We're not going in any ranking order. They're basically just our top 5s of the season. And go ahead. Which one do you want to start with?
All right, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll start off with Kaguya-sama, season 2. That one was great. It was pretty funny. The comedy continues to ensue. It's really good. Although I did find that it was just a bit cringy. In certain areas, and I only say it because it's I don't know, like the situations they put themselves in and how they're feeling and how the other truly feels, or what the other think they feel too. Based on that, it was kind of cringy, just a tad. But other than that, it was good. I did like it a lot. That was probably like one of my favorite ones. I am definitely unhappy with the fact that nothing happened. Even though there were so many opportunities, so many missed opportunities that, like, it was rather frustrating, but I liked it. It was good. It's a great show. Can't wait for season 3 when it comes out. I can't remember if there was a season 3 already announced for it. If not, soon.
Here's hoping.
Soon. Yeah, here's hoping that. So that one was one of them. The other one that I liked was Glipnir. Glipnir was very nice. The beginning did start off rather slow. It was kind of weird and just a little bit uninteresting. Other than there was the transformation from having a coin that could give you powers, and it's different for each person. So that was kind of what was keeping me hooked on there. But halfway through, then the story started progressing a lot more. We started finding out that there were more people out there, certain reasons why people are doing it to collect coins, and others that were not, and they were just using it for their own selfish gain. People generally trying to help out that alien who's trying to find all of his friends. Apparently that's what he wants. That's all he wants, is just to find his friends. And I don't know what to say.
I don't trust him.
I don't trust him either. I really don't trust him either. Yeah, I really don't. But the whole story between the two sisters, gosh, that is.
Yeah.
That one kind of got me off guard because I had a theory, and then it ended up not being that. Impossible. Yeah, it was something else. So I mean, it was good. I really liked it a lot. And then the next one that I really liked was Kakushi Goto. Kakushi Goto is charming. It's beautiful. It's wonderful, funny, hilarious. Definitely like how it tackles the mangaka society, because them, even though they create awesome artwork and creations for us that we get to enjoy, they live a pretty stressful life. And in a sense, that's one way of looking at it, I guess you can kind of say. Not like so much the relationship between Goto and his daughter, but more like how the mangaka scene is, the workforce, what you have to do to go into it. But a bit of how he treated his daughter, because he didn't want her to find out, because in society in Japan, mangaka is kind of looked down upon depending on what you're drawing and what you're coming.
Well, especially since his father-in-law is an actual artist.
And that's like another interpersonal thing too, and that's something else that I really liked a lot, is that there is a lot of deep meaning behind the characters, their relationships with each other, the things that they do, scenery and situations that came up between them. But yeah, Dad was like a professional artist. I guess saw hope and potential in Goto, but on behold, a little hentai mangaka. So that's what he ended up doing. And then the whole boxes thing, where each year for Hime. Yeah, that was touching and sentimental.
Yeah.
And how it still rather involved the mother that we never really get to meet, and we only know about her from stories and whatnot. And man, yeah, it's just overall, it was a really charming show. I really liked it. A little extensive on some of the things that Goto would do in the show, but other than that, it was really good.
On like extreme,
the extreme lengths that he would go just to like protect his identity from Hime. It was like, I don't know what to say.
Kakushigoto is actually on my list too. So Kakushigoto is also one of my top fives. Same. I love it because of the dynamics that there are. I like the look that it gives into mangaka as a profession. Like, it's more realistic, I guess. It really shows you the side of, wow, this is what mangaka live through. This is what they have to put up with. This is what an editor has to do in that kind of editing, like,
even the fact that Goto would like draw naked, like that's his
artist thing. Like he has
I've
to
heard
be naked.
Things like that, maybe even weirder in some instances that mangaka do in order to get into the vibe and get into the creative juices flowing and all that stuff. So
yeah, it's true.
It was really good though.
That was really good, and
really
I really liked the back and forth from comedy to the seriousness of what's going on now. Like, he's been trying to hide it from Hime that he's an ecchi mangaka, and now this, and then the slow progression of how they slowly give you information, like a backstory as to how things happened, what his late wife was like. Not really, because we don't really get to know, but we know what their dynamic was, what he misses, what he wishes he had, and what the dynamic was with his father-in-law and all this. And like, it's just really nice how they developed the story. They wrote it in a way that it just gives you little by little by little. So it's fun and it's entertaining and it's funny throughout the whole episode until then at the end you get a little bit of the history. And it's really cool, and I like the end. The way that it ended kept me satisfied because it could end there and you can imagine the rest of it, or it could continue and it's like, okay, now Hime has to, it's the end of the season thing, so obviously spoilers, okay? Yeah. Now Hime is the one that's gonna have to hide her love for manga to her dad, and that is just like the epitome of the irony.
Yeah.
In this show, and I guess it continues. I think it does. So it would be interesting to see.
It feels like it kind of would, but then at the same time, I'm not too sure.
I don't think
Unless
so.
like the second season kind of skips into the future a little bit, because Hime obviously becomes a mangaka herself in some way or form.
And she can't tell her dad.
Yeah, and she can't tell her dad. So now it's like the tables turned.
See, so that's
it's
what I think.
thing.
It's like you're free to imagine the rest.
Yeah.
I haven't read the manga though, so maybe it does continue, but we don't know.
I haven't read the manga either. I mean, take that back. I read the first volume of Kakushigoto, but that was it. Just the first volume. I usually read first volumes just to kind of get the feel for it, check it out, and everything. But I'm more of an anime person. So sorry, that was Kakushigoto. It's a great anime, so
and then go back to your list.
But the next one,
because I had it too, so we have to do like a
double
because we split it. That's why it's a little longer for those.
Well, then this next one, you should chime in too. Then, all right. The next one that I really liked was "Sing Yesterday" for me. That one was really good, very good drama, very good seinen story that had started out with, I guess you can say, couples that fell off the map with each other. They lost touch, and then they finally meet each other. But then while that happened, obviously you got, was it Nonaka or Nanako or no Nonaka? Yeah, I think it was like Haru Nanaka.
Oh, from yesterday.
The little girl,
Nonaka.
From Sing Yesterday. So like you have her, and she basically is like this young girl who has her mind set on Rikuo. And I mean, hey, power to that girl. She really went for it, and my hat's off to her. Everything. For such a young girl, she was like really, really mature. But yeah, like the couple, and then how it turned into a love triangle almost, I guess you can say, and then it ended up being a square love situation, like just people liking the opposites of each other, except for the two that do belong with each other, which is Rikuo and Shinako, I think. And so basically, they do end up with each other, but that's like basically what you're kind of seeing is the tension between them two. And then at the same time, you have other interests that are involved in them, and apparently hate each other of their significant other, I guess, that they're trying to go for. It's this weird thing. But the entanglement is awesome, well written, very, very suspenseful in certain areas. Like those awkward moments, really feel them. Like you really feel the awkward moments. And yeah, I mean, other than that, it was really nice. It was really nice. I did like it a lot. The art was very good. The animation was very smooth. Voice acting was perfect, spot on. Felt the emotion of everything, and all the stories of the lives for each character. 100%. I really liked it a lot. And then the last one, that was my favorite, number 5, I guess, or just the last one, is Fruits Basket.
I thought we were doing one and one.
Oh yeah. Oh, my bad. Let's go back to Sing Yesterday. Sorry. She also had that, and she likes it a lot.
Yeah, so I also have Sing Yesterday for me in my list. And it's interesting what you mentioned earlier, that Haru is actually mature for her age, because you don't really think that when you first meet her. Like, she's really annoying, and she was really obnoxious to me, and I couldn't really deal with her, but you do, as you see her dynamics with Rikuo and how she's like stubborn and really wants to be with him, and he's just as stubborn as she is about what's the girl's name? His crush from university, right?
Shinako, I think.
And Shinako, yeah. And it's so obsessive, and the two older people who should be more mature than than like the two high school kids end up making the most immature mistakes and just being stubborn and letting their egos rule them. But not the kids. The kids think better. Kids think clearer. Like, even Shinako gets told by her friend.
I forget her friend.
No, what's his name? I forget his name. But when he tells her, it's like, I'm not my brother. Like, I'm not here to replace him. Like, that's not what the point is. And she still doesn't get it. But that's such a mature do. I know. I thought it was like do, but no, it's do. Do tells Shinako that he's not his brother, and to stop seeing him like that, and how he sees her, and he's much more mature. He's a little stubborn, but they all are. Like, they all are stubborn, but yet he sees beyond this trauma that Shinako has, which he shares because it was his brother that died. Like, they both have the same loss. So I like how it tackles the loss, and how that point that you made, how Haru is so mature for her age, just made me realize something else about it that I loved. Like how these kids actually show the adults, the older, more mature ones, the actual mature way to think. And everything becomes, just
the younger teenagers are more adult than the adults. And in turn teach the adults to be more adult. Yeah. It is weird, but great.
They overcome.
Like, it's really good writing, though.
It's very good writing. The art, like you said, is gorgeous. It's gloomy all the time because that's the feel of the show. Like, I challenge you to find 10 images from that show where someone is smiling. Like, no one ever smiles. Like, maybe you see someone smile. Maybe each character smiles once in the entire show, And it's always forced. Gray. Not forced, like a real smile. And so it's always gloomy. It's always gray. It's the style, the way it's drawn. It's like you feel it. Like, it feels like a rainy day. And you feel the story, and you feel the characters, you feel the plot. So that's another reason why I share that with you on my top 5 as well.
Heck yeah.
And then what's your last one?
Okay. Then the last one. Now, my last one. Sorry.
Thank you.
Is Fruits Basket, which Liz introduced me to. Told me all about it from the first season, first series that aired, like way back in the day. Didn't follow the manga. It wasn't faithful. But this version was. And she really encouraged me to watch it. I watched it. I guess you can say it's mid-season perspectives because it's still airing. Right. It's going on for summer right now. But as far as everything that is happening, it's very, very nice. I did notice that now, while we were experiencing the relationship between Kyo and Toru, sorry. Oh, God. I was about to say someone else's name. So many character names that you got to remember. But yeah, Toru and Kyo, we get to see the development with them, but then also how Toru and Yuki apparently have something going on too, it seems, because,
there's a connection, obviously.
Yeah, there is. So
with that past thing with the hat.
Yeah, that, and then just the fact that Yuki definitely, becomes a more positive and different person that he can be proud of, I guess you can say, when he's around Toru. Like, that relationship is really nice. We got to figure it out, or got to know a little more about it, I should say. And then at the same time, we were also introduced to pretty much most of all the Zodiac characters, I think, now. We've come across everyone. Almost thought we weren't going to figure out who the rooster was, but then, of course, it was Kyo's father, apparently.
Finally showed up.
Yeah, he finally showed up, so he's there, and then now, we got the development of Kyo and his dad relationship kind of being shown a little bit more, and how that's probably going to be dealt with later on. And then also the fact that Akito finally met Toru. And Man, that Akito guy, I I don't know what it is. He needs to just take a chill pill.
Who hurt him?
Straight up. Like, I don't know where he gets his attitude. But yeah, he's man, he is manipulative, horrible.
It's just awful.
Yeah, he's a horrible person. So having him there to like drive that suspense with everything else it's really nice. I like it a lot, and I can't wait to see what else happens, especially involving more of the Zodiac characters, because it seems like it's gonna get a little more involved, especially with Akito, because he needs to take a chill pill. He really does.
He's evil.
But that's my 2 cents right now.
He's evil.
Yeah, he is evil.
Yeah, Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket is also on my list, obviously. And yeah, for the same reason. I mean, I've loved the story. I love that it's going past where we saw the first time that we got an anime for it, because I also haven't read the manga. And now I don't need to because this anime does it for me. But of course it's beautiful and everything, but we've gotten to learn a lot about all the characters, like all the Zodiac members, and just these relationships, these difficult complex relationships that they have with each other. Like,
yeah, it's really interesting, deep,
it's very
psychological.
Yeah, Akito is just like this manipulative, horrible person who, and he can always like use it as a metaphor for so many things. You know, it's like that little voice in your head. Like in Yuki's case, that he is that little voice in his head that tells him you're garbage, you're no good, you're never gonna be anything, and like, but he's like a real person that does that to other people. It's not like people thinking that about themselves, which is not okay either. But this is an actual person being that evil, and that's just terrible.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
And so it's nice to start to see something moving, and I liked seeing Toru's resolve to being like, I'm gonna help. I'm not just gonna stand by and watch this happen. I'm going to fix this. And especially because she seems so frail, you know, like everyone always wants to protect her, and oh, poor Toru, and she's so klutzy and clumsy and ditzy. But she has some balls, you know, even though Akito's the worst human being possible. He physically hurt her.
Yeah. Scratched the crap out of her face.
Yeah, and then hurt her emotionally on top of that. Made sure that nobody spent time with her the whole time she was there, and still, even though how she is and everything, she's like, no, fuck this, I'm not gonna let this happen. And that's really cool. I think I'm loving that. Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, she definitely stood up to Akito, and that was...
Yeah, and that's great.
That was ballsy.
Yeah.
Very ballsy. She, yeah. Respect, girl.
Good job. See, she's another one of the strong female characters that I never would have thought in my life that I would say that Toru's a strong character. I mean, she is, because she's put up with a lot of loss and a lot of issues, but she's also like really, you know. But now I get to see her. Like, now I've gotten to see who Toru really truly is, and she's definitely, even though she's mild-mannered and shy and clumsy, she's actually really strong as a character, as a person. So that's pretty cool. So those are already 3 down from my list. So Kakushigoto, Sing Yesterday for Me, and Fruits Basket, season 2.
What are the other 2?
And then my other 2 from my top 5 for the spring season were My Next Life as a Villainess. All Flag.
Yeah, that one was a really close one for me.
All of those. Oh my god, that was so funny.
Really close.
I love comedy. I love ridiculous things and ridiculous premises. And I like the ridiculous Ojo-sama type things, like woo, and that whole thing. Like, I love that, so it's great. I love reverse harems, and that's what I thought this was gonna be, and then it turned out to just be like an everything goes harem, which was cool. Like, it's not a regular harem or reverse harem. It's like everything. She's like, Katarina just says, welcome all to my harem.
Basically.
welcome one, welcome
Yeah,
all.
it's like I don't know, she just wakes up and puts on some of that panther pheromone or something, goes outside, and everything just like, comes to her. It's funny.
It's like instead of like in Snow White, you know, she sings and the birds chirp around her. It's like now in her case, she just comes out and like all the princes and princesses just come over.
She climbs a tree or does some gardening, and then boom, and next thing you know, like someone's
5
there.
Princes there. Yeah, it's so funny. It's ridiculous. It has a ridiculous premise, but then it also starts involving some actual emotions and real life kind of themes when it makes reference to her friend who she left in her past life, because obviously, you know, Katarina in her previous life died, and that's how she came into this isekai. But her friend still misses her, and they somehow connect, and so it gives it this different twist to an isekai that was a little spiritual, a little supernatural, you know, like it had more of a supernatural isekai twist to it that I didn't expect, because they normally don't address that. Like it just kind of happens, and then that's it. They never address where the hero came from before arriving into the new world after the first episode, after Truck-kun meets them. we never think about it again, and yet My Next Life as a Villainess does. And actually one of our writers did a really interesting piece on that.
For the review?
Yeah. No, for just just a piece talking about like what happens when the isekai world remembers the real world or something like that. And it's really good. I recommend if you guys go look for it on the website. It's really good. Maybe we can link it in the video. Yeah,
maybe.
We'll link it in the video.
We remember.
I'll remember. I have to edit this. I'll remember. I'll add it. So,
all right.
Link on the video. At the bottom. And so that's one reason, many reasons that I loved My Next Life as a Villainess. And then my number 5, I guess, not really because they're not ranked. So just my 5th one is Arte, which honestly was a surprise for me. I don't know why.
I liked Arte.
Right?
Yeah, that one was
I don't
really
think
nice.
I should have been surprised that it was good. I should have expected that it was going to be good, but honestly, at the beginning, it just seemed like an obvious grab to me for, women, you know, like, it's like, with all the movements that are going on right now, it's like, strong women, like I am talking about, that was a thing this season. And at first, when I just saw about what it was going to be about and everything, I was like, it's going to be trying too hard. And then I actually watched the first few episodes, and I was like, oh my God, no, this is really good. And I loved it. And it's really interesting. The art is beautiful. I like her story. I like the way she's determined. And I especially like, and I think I mentioned this when we did our mid-season check-in, but I like that some of the characters, especially the female characters, are based on real women from history, from the 16th century. So
yes, that's right.
Arte is based on a real painter from the 16th century called Artemisa, I think. I believe, like Artemis, but Artemisa, I believe. Artemisia, and then Veronica, the courtesan, is also based on a real person that did exactly the same things that Veronica does in the anime, and how she studies and learns, and she has clients and makes all the money and takes care of herself, and that's how she inspires even Arte to say, you know what, this is what I do, this is my trade, I take pride in what I do for it. And that's just, it's a lot, and it seemed, I thought it was going to be pandering, but it's not. So even when we talk a lot about Arte and how it's really good in showcasing strong women, it's not pandery, like it really isn't. So that's really cool. That's why I liked it. It surprised me because I expected it to be pandery, but it's not, and it's actually really good, and makes me really proud of the anime industry and women in general, and the original women who inspired some of these characters, really. So.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. I did notice that, and that show is really good too. The art in that is wonderful, and it just there's a lot more meaning to it when you're watching it, and then it's based off of real people, and so you're experiencing this as you watch it, and it just has way more meaning, and I enjoyed it a lot. Arte was another really close one, man.
That's why we share a list. See?
Yep, that is why we share our lists.
Because, like, I really like Kaguya-sama, and it was almost on my list, and also Gleipnir was almost on my list as well. So I get it. I totally. So it wasn't a bad season. No. It wasn't a bad spring, regardless of everything that's going on. It was a pretty all right.
Yeah, it was good. Season. Like I said, I was surprised because with a lot of good anime that we were all looking forward to being postponed or canceled, this season turned out nice, very nice. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't know. Like we were talking about, a lot of the stuff that surprisingly did good because it wasn't overshadowed. You know, makes me wonder how it would have been if this anime that was supposed to air in spring, which is now airing in summer, it did air in spring. But I mean,
yeah, I really like. We will never know. But I feel like certain anime, like for example, here, let me see. I believe that some anime that we saw that we liked wouldn't have done as well as they did. Like Arte, for example, I don't think would have gotten as much exposure.
Probably not. Yeah, Arte might have been one of those.
Zero series. Chronicle. If you actually had Sword Art Online going, you think people would rather watch Sword Art Online than Shironeko Project.
That one was decent.
That was another one that was like, it's okay.
It is okay.
Like, it's not bad. Yeah. But the end was anticlimactic. And I get it. It's just one of those legends that repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat forever. And I get it. But it kind of makes you feel like, oh, okay. Like, so then what was the point? Like, I just watched
nothing really
a slice of life, I guess, in a way. But not really. Yeah, it's not
too intriguing. There were some that I don't know, it just wasn't too interesting enough. Like Wave, Listen to Me. Another female lead anime.
That was another strong female lead.
Yeah, strong female. It was really good. It just wasn't like wasn't my cup of tea. I guess it was just because of the radio scene and making an anime behind, the radio scene. It was just a little interesting. And then also how they were incorporating food trucks, I guess, or food stalls into the series as well. But I mean, of course, I don't know what else happened after like the third series. But maybe it was just that one. But I mean,
just that one episode.
A lot of images that I see in here are her with a chef's jacket on or an apron.
She works at the curry restaurant.
I know, but I mean, like I said, I only watched up to episode 3.
Yeah, that's true. Me too. Yeah, that's another one. I think that would have definitely probably gotten affected if more of the highly anticipated anime that were delayed had been on as well.
Yes.
We're excited to see Diary of Our Days at Breakwater.
Oh, is this for next season?
Yes. So that was supposed to be in spring, but it got delayed, so it's going to be in summer, so we're going to watch it then.
Oh, yeah.
Bungo to Alchemist was in spring, but it also got delayed. It's going to continue this summer, but we had already dropped it, so we're probably not going to watch it.
I don't know too much. I'm not too familiar with all
Japanese
the authors. Japanese
literature
to get it so much. But yeah, that one.
Miss a lot.
Yeah.
Which other one? Galandino was doing great, and we were loving it too, but it also got delayed, and it's going to finish during summer as well. As Olympia Kiklos is ridiculous 4-minute stop animation, I guess. Olympic animation.
Yeah, it's like a stop animation kind of.
Ridiculous. I like that one. I mean, it's not a top 5 anime, but it's entertaining. Yeah. It's ridiculous and it's silly and it takes 4 minutes.
It's pretty silly.
It's fine. And that one also got delayed, so it's going to continue. I think it's already picked back up. I already saw some episodes of. And then I think those were the only ones that I can remember right now.
Go up to the top. Because there's also Apare Ranman.
Oh, Apare Ranman too. And that's also continuing in the summer. That one we're definitely going to watch.
Again, so we're going to do that one. The Millionaire Detective, that one also is another one that stopped and it's going to continue.
Unlimited, yeah.
And then
Shokugeki no Soma 5 is
Shokugeki no Soma 5, yeah. And then I also believe No Gun's Life was supposed to air in spring. If not, then it was scheduled for summer, but that's airing in summer, and that's going to be here. I could have swore it was originally slated
to be for spring, yeah. But that one didn't even make it into the first video, so.
Yeah, it didn't. It was just pushed back completely. But the ones we did mention right now were at least episode 3, and then they just stopped.
Yeah, and then they had to stop. So make sure to follow them this season.
Yes.
Show some support for those series that got delayed and got affected by all this craziness. And that's it. I guess it was a good spring.
It was.
We wish you guys a...
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Hold on. But what was your favorite one?
Out of everything?
Out of all of them.
Oh, I have to pick just one?
Yeah, just one.
Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket?
Even though it's not over, I don't know if it counts. Does it count? Does it count?
No, I think that should
count.
Yeah,
what I enjoyed the most? Okay, yeah.
It's the halfway marker. I know it's continuing and everything, but it's good. So why not? Yeah.
Fruits Basket.
Mine, personally, would probably have to be Singing Yesterday to me. I don't watch too many dramas. But when I do, it's Singing Yesterday.
Singing Yesterday for me.
It's a really good show. So that one has to be like my favorite one for this season. So
wow,
I highly recommend that for everybody.
That's cool.
Kind of pulls on the heartstrings, but at the same time, it kind of slaps you in the face in multiple situations, keeps you alive and guessing and, interested at the same time. So I recommend that to you guys. Yes.
You know what? Yeah, I just remembered something that you said earlier that I also thought was really true about Sing Yesterday. For me, is how you can feel the tension and the awkwardness. Like there are these awkward moments that you just like. I remember even like stopping breathing while we were watching it because it's like so tense that I'm just like. Or like squeezing my hand, just like, oh, you feel it. Like you feel the anxiety and the tension and the awkwardness that these characters are putting themselves through. And it's crazy. It's crazy that you can feel that, you know? Though. And that's really cool. Like it's good. Oop. That means it's good writing and it's good art and it's good animation and it's good everything. Good voice acting, like you were saying.
It's really good all around. I loved it.
You know what? Yeah, that's probably one of the best anime of the season, if not like one of the artistically best anime of the season, probably. Sing Yesterday for me. I agree. Do you agree? Everybody out there? What are your top 5? Tell us in the comments below. And have an awesome summer season. It's already going. Stay tuned. In a few weeks, we're going to do a mid-season run-through. For summer?
For summer 2020. Yeah, so you guys look out for that. Watch your anime. Watch as many as you can. I know we are. We're going to be watching as much as possible.
Yeah. There aren't as many, but...
Yeah, there aren't as many that started out so far at this moment, but watching at least over 10 at the moment.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And it's just going to grow.
But
we'll see what we drop.
20-something last season.
Yeah, 20 or like 18, and then we dropped a few, so...
No, we like officially fully watched like 23 series. 23? Yeah. Because then they have the Netflix ones that were released, or the ones that were released in batches, and you just marathon them.
That's right.
So we did like Ghost in the Shell,
as a matter of fact,
we did all those.
We're actually watching Japan Sync 2020 right now, so that's something that we need to catch up, because it released towards the end of the season for spring, as that probably was originally slated for anyways.
Yeah, it just released a little time ago. But you should watch that too. That was really good. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful summer. I'm Liz, and it was wonderful to be here with you.
I'm Fonzy, and I'll see you guys next time.
And before we go, don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube to stay in the loop. And don't forget to visit honeysanime.com to keep track of all things anime, manga, and video games.
Yes, we got all the links down to our social media as well, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We got Spotify down there. Discord, if you guys want to join our Discord server, join the conversation, I'll be there as well. There on a daily.
All day.
Almost all day. It's fun, at least when you're talking with me. Maybe, I don't know. But yes, so you guys take care. We'll see y'all next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.